Hey guys, so I feel like it's appropriate to say that the holidays are always around the corner because it's New Year, you have your goals, and then next thing you know, you're stuffing your face at Thanksgiving and you're like, where did the year go? The holidays are actually around the corner and we are going to make your favorite side dish, my favorite side dish, Matthew's favorite side dish, sweet potato casserole. Sweet potato casserole is really hard to replicate because sweet potatoes are full of carbs, basically all carbs. So we had a little workaround to perfect this dish that actually tastes exactly like sweet potato casseroles. What we're gonna be using is a large head of cauliflower to get that color, and to really get that flavor, we're gonna be using pumpkin puree. I know you're probably skeptical at this point. I was too, Matt was, but once we did it, it's a dish you're gonna wanna make over and over again, and your family's not even gonna know the difference. So, first thing you're gonna do, this is gonna take the longest time, you're gonna chop your head of cauliflower up into florets, and you're gonna add it to a large pot, fill it up with water, and bring the cauliflower to a boil. So it's been 20 minutes and the cauliflower has been boiling on the stovetop, and you can tell when I go in, it immediately pierces. So this is exactly how you want it. Now we're gonna drain the cauliflower. This little steam facial. And preheat your oven to 400 degrees. This should come out, this is a large head of cauliflower, all the florets. This should come out to about 6 cups of cauliflower. You're just gonna add them directly to the processor. If you have a smaller processor than we do, you might have to do it in batches. Okay, so it's pretty smooth already, but we're gonna add a bunch of stuff to complete the casserole, so it'll just get smoother and smoother as we continue to process. Now we are going to add 1 cup of pumpkin puree, 100% pumpkin. Add it directly in. How cool is that? I love watching that happen. Okay, now we are going to melt 4 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna add the melted butter directly to the mixture. We are also going to add half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 eggs, and then we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of erythritol plus 1 to 2 tablespoons, depending on how sweet you like it. If you wanted to go to the stevia route, the liquid stevia route, you could do 40 to 50 drops, and that'll be the equivalent to the amount of erythritol we used. So now that everything is in here, we are just going to process until smooth and perfect. Look at that. It's seriously perfect. It looks exactly like it too, right? So I'm going to use this as my casserole dish. And like I said, the oven is preheating to 400. Now I'm just gonna transfer this mixture, casserole dish, so once you get your casserole mixture into the dish, there's really 2 routes you can go. You can either do the first route, which is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a sauce, or you can do a traditional crumble like you probably have seen or you've done in the past. So the reason we're going the sauce route, because 1, it's a fun little twist on the traditional crumble route, but also if you do the crumble, we found that we've tried it and it tends to burn, and you don't want to serve burned pecans, burned cinnamon, because it doesn't have a really good taste to your guests. So I think the sauce is going to be your favorite way, and I'm sure you'll do it that way as well. But let's get this baking, and then I'll show you exactly how to make our topping for this. We're gonna put this in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. So what I'm doing right now is getting the sauce prepared. The casserole is out of the oven, it's looking good, and we're gonna start with a half a cup of coconut oil, which is 112 grams. That's gonna be the base for this sauce. So we're gonna heat this on the stovetop on low heat, and we're gonna be adding ground up pecans, which you can just easily do pulse in a processor, in a coffee grinder, or in a blender. We're also gonna add some stevia and some cinnamon. So let's head over to the stovetop. If you don't wanna grind up your pecans, you don't wanna go, over the top this holiday, you can just chop up your pecans, roughly chop them, or smash them with something. That'll work just as well. Now that the coconut oil is basically melted down on low heat, we are going to add half a tablespoon of cinnamon. Now we are going to add 40 drops of liquid stevia. And then we're gonna add half a cup of our ground up pecans. You can up this, you can do 3/4 cup, depending on how much you like pecans. Look at that, it's beautiful. And that is the perfect topping to really just anything. Mug cakes, brownies, casseroles. Just a word of caution, as the mixture cools, it might harden because that's what happens to coconut oil at room temperature. So you can either keep it on the stove and people can serve themselves using a spoon during dinner, or you can just microwave it every so often to keep it the same liquid, beautiful consistency. This in.
Okay guys, time for the taste test. This like sweet potato casserole thing has never been really my jam, but I'm surprised how much this pumpkin cauliflower mixture actually tastes like sweet potatoes. It's incredible and it's very surprising. 100% identical to sweet potatoes. You wouldn't believe it. This is really like the perfect example of a classic American side dish that is actually just a dessert, but we call it a side dish. Mega can't try this because it has pecans. That is magical. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be a home run for Thanksgiving. The sauce. Just the perfect harmony together. Make this for Thanksgiving. And just one word of note is the coconut oil is better in this dish than butter because the butter kind of separates, like the milk solids rise to the top and then the fat separates. Coconut oil is really what you want to go with. Don't use butter. This is just phenomenal all around. Home run Thanksgiving side dish. One of the best dishes we've made so far. Make this.